My beloved brothers and sisters, in life, we often find ourselves carrying worries that drain our hearts and cloud our minds. We worry about the future, about our sustenance, our families, our health, our mistakes, and even things that may never happen. But remember this, the one who created you has already written your story with wisdom far greater than your understanding. When you are overwhelmed, pause for a moment and remind yourself Allah knows and Allah sees. What is confusing to you is crystal clear to Him. What scares you is easy for Him. What seems delayed is only being prepared at the right time. Sometimes Allah allows you to reach a point where you feel powerless, not to break you, but to show you that relying on Him is the greatest power you will ever have. When you feel your heart trembling with fear, say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for me and He is the best disposer of my affairs. As soon as you say it with conviction, you will feel a wave of calmness cover your heart because you have handed your burden to the one who never fails. Your challenges are not punishments, they are invitations. Invitations to return, to reflect, to grow, and to rise. Every hardship you face is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, more humble believer. Allah promises indeed, with hardship comes ease. Not after hardship, with it. Meaning the ease is already on its way. You just need to hold on a little longer. Make dua even if your voice trembles. Make dua even if you feel unworthy. Make dua because Allah loves to hear from you. And when you walk away from that prayer mat, walk with certainty that Allah will never leave you empty-handed. So my brothers and sisters, tonight breathe deeply and release your worry. Let it go. Put it in the hands of Allah. Walk forward with trust. Smile with hope. And remind your heart that the one who protected you yesterday will protect you today and tomorrow. The belief that Allah's plan is perfect is one of the greatest sources of peace a believer can hold in their heart. When you truly understand that every detail of your life is written with divine wisdom, your worries begin to fade. You start to see your journey not as a collection of random events, but as a carefully designed pathway that leads you toward growth, purification, and closeness to Allah. Human beings see only the surface of their situations, a small fragment of the picture, while Allah sees the beginning, the middle, and the end all at once. What appears to you as a setback may actually be a step towards something far better. What you think is a delay may be a protection. What feels like an unanswered prayer may be an answer that is simply taking a different form. Many times we ask Allah for what we think is good for us. But if the curtains of destiny were pulled back, we would fall into sujood in gratitude for the doors that were closed. We might cry over a lost opportunity, not knowing that Allah saved us from harm that our eyes could not see. His knowledge is complete, while ours is limited. When you trust His plan, you're not saying that everything will be easy. You're saying that everything will have purpose. Even the pain, even the confusion, even the moments when your heart feels heavy, all of it carries a wisdom that will reveal itself in time. Nothing is wasted when you leave your life in Allah's hands. There will be moments when you look at your circumstances and wonder why certain things are happening. You may question the timing of your blessings or the intensity of your trials. But a believer holds on to the understanding that Allah never makes a mistake. Not in the way He guides you, not in the way He tests you, and not in the way He withholds something from you. What you see as an obstacle may be the very thing that purifies your heart or pushes you to become a stronger person. Allah tailors your experiences in a way that suits your soul, your journey, and your long-term benefit. Think of a child who reaches out for something dangerous. The parent pulls it away firmly and the child cries, thinking they are being deprived. The parent smiles gently, knowing that they just protected their child from harm. In the same way, there are times when Allah takes something from you, delays something for you, or redirects you. You may not like it now, but one day you will look back and realize it was one of the greatest mercies in your life. The difference is that while a parent's wisdom is limited, Allah's wisdom is infinite. When you face a closed door, remind yourself that the one who controls all doors knows exactly which one will open for your benefit. When your plans fall apart, remember that Allah's plan is still intact. He doesn't replace your plans with something random. He replaces them with something better. Even if the better doesn't make sense right now, someday you will look back with clarity. You will see how every twist and turn was preparing you, strengthening you, humbling you, or elevating you. Accepting that Allah's plan is perfect doesn't mean you stop making effort. It means that after you tie your camel, after you give your best, after you exhaust your efforts, you release your expectations and trust the outcome. You trust that whatever happens next is part of a divine script, written with compassion and precision. It means you walk through life with a heart that is steady, knowing that you are being carried by the one who never lets you down. When you let this reality settle in your heart, worry loses its power. You find calmness even in uncertainty. You find hope even in difficulty. And you find contentment knowing that the Lord who created your heart will never write a plan that breaks it without also preparing a way to heal it. Worry is one of the heaviest burdens a human heart can carry. It creeps in quietly, tightening the chest and overwhelming the mind until a person feels lost in their own thoughts. But the moment you turn to Allah with sincerity, that very same heart begins to lighten. The difference between a heart filled with worry and a heart filled with trust is like the difference between a stormy night and the calm that follows the dawn. Worry drains you because it makes you feel as though everything depends on you alone, while trust empowers you because it reminds you that everything is in the hands of the one who controls the heavens and the earth. When a person relies solely on their own strength, their own plans and their own understanding, they will inevitably reach a point of exhaustion. Human capacity is limited. Our knowledge, our strength, and our foresight all have boundaries. You might try to solve every problem, calculate every risk, and control every outcome, but life will always present things that fall beyond your reach. That is why worry feels so heavy. It forces you to carry a load that was never meant to be carried without Allah. On the other hand, trust is a spiritual force. It brings a quiet strength into your life. When you place your affairs in Allah's care, you are not giving up. You are rising above your fears and acknowledging that you are supported by a power far greater than your own. Imagine walking into a dark forest alone. Every sound, every shadow, and every uncertainty triggers fear. Now imagine walking that same path with someone you trust deeply. Someone strong, capable, and protective. Your steps become steady, your heart becomes calm, and the fear begins to fade. You didn't change the forest, but trust changed you. In the same way, life's challenges may remain the same, but trust in Allah transforms how you face them. It doesn't remove the test, but it removes the panic. It doesn't erase the trial, but it eases the heart. When you constantly worry, you feed your doubts. When you trust Allah, you strengthen your faith. A heart that is focused on problems becomes overwhelmed, but a heart that is focused on Allah becomes empowered. Worry says, what if everything goes wrong? Trust says, even if it does, Allah will guide me through it. Worry looks at obstacles. Trust looks at the one who can remove them. Worry weakens because it traps you in fear of the unknown. But trust strengthens because it reminds you that nothing is unknown to Allah. When you place your affairs in Allah's care, you acknowledge that He knows what you do not. You acknowledge that He sees the entire picture while you see only fragments. You acknowledge that He chooses what is best for you, even when you struggle to understand why certain things are happening. This attitude brings a deep spiritual strength, one that cannot be shaken easily by circumstances. Allah has promised that He is with those who rely on Him. This companionship brings peace to the heart. Your situation may still be challenging, but your inner state becomes anchored. A heart anchored in trust beats differently. It beats with calmness instead of panic, with faith instead of fear, and with hope instead of despair. When anxiety rises, you turn to prayer instead of spiraling into worry. When difficulties appear, you remember His promises instead of doubting His plan. You understand that what is written for you will come, and what is not meant for you will never reach you. This knowledge frees you. Worry drains you because it tries to control the future, but trust strengthens you because it connects you to the one who controls everything. When your heart truly relies on Allah, you walk through life with a serenity that cannot be manufactured by worldly means. You find peace even when life is turbulent because you know that Allah is guiding your steps. And with Him guiding you, there is no need to fear, no need to panic, only the need to trust. Many people misunderstand hardships, assuming that difficulties mean Allah is displeased with them or that they have been abandoned. But in reality, trials are among the clearest signs of Allah's love and attention. When Allah loves a person, He purifies them, elevates them, and brings them closer to Him through experiences that shake the heart, awaken the soul, and reshape one's character. If life were always smooth, many of us would forget to turn to Allah, forget to reflect, and forget to grow. Hardships have a way of humbling us, softening us, and reminding us of our dependence on the one who created us. They break the layers of pride, remove the dust from the heart, and open the door to sincere prayer. A life without tests would be spiritually empty. Just as the body needs exercise to become stronger, the soul needs hardship to mature and deepen in faith. Tests are not punishments, they are spiritual workouts. They expose your weaknesses and then give you the chance to overcome them. They show you areas of your life that need correction, purification, or improvement. And through every difficulty, Allah gives you the opportunity to rise to a higher level than before. Sometimes He removes the distractions around you so you can finally hear the whispers of your own soul calling out for Him. Other times He places you in a situation where the only door left open is the door of da'ah, forcing your heart to return to its true home. It is through trials that a believer discovers the sweetness of patience and the beauty of trusting Allah. When everything is going well, trusting Allah is easy. But when your heart is breaking, when nothing makes sense, when you feel completely overwhelmed, that is when true reliance is born. The moments that break you are often the very moments that reshape you into a stronger, wiser, more spiritually grounded person. Allah allows the pressure not to crush you, but to mold you into a better version of yourself. Just like a diamond is formed under intense pressure, the believer's heart becomes brilliant through the weight of trials. There are secrets within hardships that only reveal themselves later. Sometimes Allah lets you taste sadness so you can appreciate joy. Sometimes He takes something away because it was pulling you away from Him, even if you didn't realize it. Sometimes He withholds a blessing because He knows you are not ready for it yet. And sometimes He simply wants to elevate your rank in paradise by giving you a challenge that will be recorded as reward upon reward as long as you remain patient. Nothing comes to you without wisdom. Nothing leaves you without reason. Every tear you shed is seen. Every struggle you endure is counted. Every silent prayer you make is heard. Look at the prophets. Every one of them faced immense trials, and they were the most beloved to Allah. Their hardships did not reduce their honor, they increased it. Their struggles did not push them away from Allah, they drew them closer. Their tears did not make them weak, they made their hearts shine with sincerity. If the most beloved servants of Allah were tested, how can we expect to be free from trials? The difference is in how we interpret them. If you see your trials as a curse, they will weigh on you heavily. But if you see them as a sign of Allah's love and His desire to purify you, you will carry them with dignity. When Allah loves someone, He guides them back to Him, even if it requires shaking their life a little. He knows what lies ahead for you, what dangers you cannot see, and what spiritual growth you desperately need. So when a hardship comes, instead of saying, "Why me?" try saying, "My Lord is preparing me." Instead of feeling abandoned, feel chosen. Instead of collapsing under the weight, lean into Allah and let the hardship bring you closer to Him. In that closeness, you will find peace, strength, and the realization that every trial was a doorway to His love. Dua is one of the greatest gifts Allah has given to the believer. It is not merely a request, but a bridge between the servant and the Lord of the worlds. When life becomes overwhelming and the walls seem to close in, dua becomes the rope you hold on to with all your strength. It is the language of a heart that knows it does not have the power to control life, but knows exactly who does. Dua is not a ritual, it is a conversation. It is the moment when you pour your worries into the hands of the one who never tires of listening, never gets frustrated with your repetitions, and never fails to respond in one way or another. In dua, you admit your weakness and recognize His strength. This humility brings you closer to Allah, and closeness to Allah brings peace. One of the most beautiful things about dua is that Allah encourages it.